It's that time of year again. I got the sensation of it last week. It is my favorite season, and if you can't tell what it is, there's the symbol of it right there. And with my favorite season comes my favorite holiday and everything that comes with it. It is September 30th, 2018, and I am in the mood for Halloween. I mean, I've been in the mood for Halloween since last Halloween, but it's coming around. Like, it's not the kind of depressing mood that you get, or at least Halloween fans like myself get, when we wake up on November 1st. It is the very excited feeling Halloween fans like myself get when it becomes October. And I want to do something special for October and Halloween. And since I've kind of made it a hobby to publish YouTube videos this year, I want to do that. And like do at least one video or a series of videos every night that are Halloween related, and publish them up here just as a Halloween special. And like, I already came up with a review of something I could review, but two things came up. One, it's not officially October, or as I like to call it, the beginning of the holiday season for me. And two, I was watching another video earlier, and they were talking about another show that is the granddaddy of Halloween specials, and I kind of want to review that first, you know, kick off this Halloween special with the granddaddy of all Halloween specials, so to speak. So instead, I'm just going to give you guys a story, not exactly Halloween related, but it is fear related. You know, like, I basically screamed when this happened to me. And technically, like, we are still kind of in summer, at least where I live. Like, it's been very hot for the beginning of fall, and that's perfect because this story actually takes place during the summertime. And it happened when I was 13, and, you know, school was coming to an end. It was like the end of May. Yeah, the end of May, turning into the early June, so summer vacation was just around the corner. And I was visiting relatives, and they were all making plans for this camping trip that they take up north of, in the northern part of the state I live in. And you know, I was 13, I loved hanging out with the kids, I still do, but I wanted to go and camp with them, especially with the kids, because I wanted to have fun. And so the first thing that came to my mind, because I'm a very cautious person, is if we go out into the wilderness, will we have a snake bite kit? You know, one of those essential, very important items you need when you go on a camping trip, especially if you live in the West, and there's rattlesnakes all over the place. Well, okay, that's an exaggeration, but still. Like, do we have a kit that if one of us happens to get bit by a snake, we have the anti-venom or the antibacterial or whatever else comes with it to keep us alive? And everyone who was begging me to go said, yeah, no worries, we're cool, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, I'll go with you guys. And so summer comes around, the day where we take off north to go camping comes, well, more of the night, because for some reason we left really late that night, and like, it was kind of tiring, and like, I spent the night sleeping, sitting up in the back of the car, and I was cramped up. And this was when I was like really kind of chubby at the time, so I was cramped up with my two nieces, and it was just a very uncomfortable feeling for like the next 12 hours until we got up to where we needed to be. And the first day of that camping trip goes by not completely flawless. Like, there were some people there who didn't like me, and I didn't like them very much either. And I mean, we're cool now, but back then we just hated each other's guts, and like they just made that first day a living hell for me. So I just, I tried to stray away from them as much as possible, but they would just keep giving all these rules just to me. Like, there were a bunch of other kids there, but it was just to me. And they're like, you can only have 2 sodas a day, and they can't be the same kind. So like, if I wanted a Coke, I could only have 1 Coke, and then I would have to have like Dr. Pepper, which is good in its own right, but still, like, it was unfair to me because I'm the only kid that this particular person put this rule on. And so finally, second day, we go down to the lake, and I really wanted to go swimming because I thought it was going to be like one of those lakes you see in the movies. It's like really relaxing and beautiful, people swimming all over the place, people water skiing and all that. And no, I mean, the funny thing about it is there was one of those lakes like maybe 3 football fields away from the spot where we actually went to. And I didn't think of anything of it at first. I was like, okay, this is kind of strange, but whatever, it's not that big of a deal. And I was stupid. I was being stupid at the time. And the moment I got out of that truck, I just ran down the dirt hill that led to the lake, and I run in it, and I'm like, oh, this is so refreshing. Like, the people I hate, and they're not here, so I don't have to worry about this. But then, just a strange a strange feeling came over me, and it was fear. I'm like, but why? I'm not afraid of anything. I mean, I'm afraid of a bunch of things, but there's nothing around here that I should be afraid of. It's like I had a sixth sense for it, or my instinct kicked in, because that's just automatically, my head turns to the right, looks down, and there, swimming like 2 inches away from my leg, is a relatively small snake. And it was small, but that doesn't really mean anything sometimes. Like, baby snakes, they can't even control their venom, so they're even deadlier than the adults. And so that just scared me, because it was the first time in my life that I had seen snakes in real life before, but I kept far away from them. It was like the first or second time in my life where it was just me and a snake 2 inches away from my legs. And I guess it felt my fear because it looked up at me, and it was just like, this is what happened. It's just like our eyes lock for like 2-3 seconds, and then finally it just goes and it swims away. And even though nothing happened to me, I was like, oh hell no. And it's funny because there was like a really big rock like 5-6 feet away from me. And has anyone seen the movie Mulan, when they almost accidentally see Mulan without clothes, and Mushu intervenes and bites the skinny guy in the butt, and he's like, something bit me, and then Mushu's like, ugh, nasty flavor, snake, and they all get on that walk. That was me. I'm just like, snake! And even though I'm chubby and out of shape and shouldn't be able to do something like this, I just skip. I go from one spot to the other by skipping onto that walk, and I stay there for the rest of the trip, at least to the lake, to the rest of the trip to the lake. And my dad and everyone else who went with us, they just all playing in the water. They know what happened at this point. And they're just like, Wobble, come on, come into the water, it's fine. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And then, to make matters worse, I keep seeing multiple snakes pass me, and I'm just like, no, 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 no. And like, I look and see where they're coming from. There's a big tunnel, not a sewage tunnel, just like a big tunnel for some reason, that the water is coming out of. And the snakes are coming out of as well. And it's dark, it's like a horror movie tunnel. And I'm like, I am staying away from that thing. But my dad, he took his shirt off, and it starts, somehow it defies the laws of physics, and it fights against the current, and it makes its way towards the tunnel, at the pitch blackness snake-filled tunnel, and my dad points at it, and he's like, Wobble, go get it. And, like, I, you know, don't defy your dad. Like, I especially did not want to make my dad mad, but this was like the one exception I would do, where I'm like, no, no, you go get it. You go towards the dark, scary tunnel filled with snakes. Get your shirt. It's your shirt. You go get it. I'm staying on this walk. And, you know, my dad understood. Like, he understood I was afraid, so, and like, he was just like shooing snakes away, so he didn't really mind that I defied him that time. And so eventually I'm just like, okay, I need to make it back to civilization. I need to make it back to the beach that's like 3 feet away from me, but I'm not gonna dip my toe, even like a toenail, in the water. I'm not gonna do that. So I decide to jump, and so I build momentum in my legs, and I jump for it, and I make it, and like, I'm just like, oh, I'm safe. And then that's when a few snakes start slithering down the dirt hill. And they pass me, you know, they don't look up and hiss at me, but they just pass me. And then there was one of my nieces, and she's like 3 at the time. Like, she comes out of the water too, because she was getting tired, and she joins me on the beach, where it's like, it's the safest part of the area we're in. And, you know, we're just sitting there, or she's sitting, I'm standing around getting ready to run away in case I see a snake. And, you know, this entire time, my family's like, don't worry, these snakes don't hurt people, you don't have anything to worry about. And, you know, it's like one of those happy scenes in horror movies where, like, everyone's laughing and playing around before everything goes to hell. And then, all of a sudden, my family's still in the water. They just stop what they're doing. They look towards me and my niece, and they're like, Wobbled, pick her up now! And I'm, you know, I kind of, my legs stiffen and I can't really move my lower body, but like, I somehow find the strength to pick up my niece. Not very well, because I'm afraid, so I lose all the strength in my arms, and I am struggling to pick her up. And I'm just holding her, and they're just like, pick her up, pick her up, pick her up, pick her up. And then finally they just stop, and I was like, oh, okay, never mind, you're good now. And I'm just like, what happened? And they're like, oh, a snake started slithering down the hill towards you two, but then it changed direction. And I'm just like, I thought you guys said that the snakes were harmless. And they're just like, well, we're not entirely sure about that. And I'm just like, okay, so this was a bad idea for me to come along on this trip. And so, thankfully, there was no other problems with snakes that day. Oh, for the rest of the trip, fortunately. But when we get back to camp, like, my family who went with me, they were telling the story of everything I went through. And they're just like, it's okay, Robert, you don't have to worry about the snakes, we promise you. And I'm just like, okay, well, I don't really believe you, but I'm gonna repeat my question, and it better be the same answer you guys give me. Do we have a snake bite kit? And they're just like, oh, well, actually, Robert, you see, our personal snake bite kit is not getting bit. And then I'm just, you know, I just all hope is lost. I just like limp back to my tent, and like there was no reason I should be limping. I'm not hurt or anything. I'm just my spirit is just like that low at that point. And I'm thinking about like all these whole stories all coming, all being imagined in my mind of me being attacked by a snake and dying because we don't have proper protection from them. And I just lay down in my bed, and you know I'm kind of crying at this point, and I'm just like, please take me home, like God teleport me back to my house right now, please. But you know, doesn't work that way. I had to spend 3 more days at that camp. Not the most pleasant experience of my life, but hey, at least I got a funny story to tell around campfires if I ever were to go camping again. You know what, no, a funny story to tell in the safety of civilization, because I'm not getting in any more snake lakes, not intentionally. Happy October, happy holidays, everyone. Let's make this a Halloween special to remember.